Good evening. I am Debbie McKeever, founder and owner of Strong and Healthy Temple, a virtual holistic health and wellness coaching practice where we focus on helping clients to achieve transformation from the inside out by shifting their mindsets. I'm out here in nature, of course. It's a nice breezy fall day, so I'm just out here enjoying the breeze. Wanted to talk today about the vocabulary of silence. And the vocabulary of silence is a terminology that I heard from Bill Winston probably about 15 years ago. And what he meant by that is that once you make your confession, shut your mouth. So in other words, once you make a positive affirmation, don't cancel it out, with your negative words or beliefs. And I wanted to talk about it from the perspective of guarding your inner dialogue, because most of our doubts, believe it or not, comes not from external sources, but it comes like from our own mental dialect, like the thoughts that we're having in our own minds. And so we have to learn how to guard that. And a great way to do that is just, by learning how to be in silence. Because I think as a society, we always feel like, we have to have like that noise and that chatter. People like to have the televisions going, or, they have their iPods going with music, or, you got your phones going on social media and all these different things, or, you have to be like, in a social setting. And I think that was the thing that was, really bugging a lot of people about the lockdown, is that they were missing all of the interaction. And I think it's because people just really don't know how to sit with themselves and enjoy their own company. And not only that, is that people just have problems just sitting there like in silence, like with no noise, nothing in the background, like literally silent, and just even like learning how to cast down those thoughts that are always like running in your mind. Because of course I've talked about this before, but scientifically we have over like 6,000 thoughts a day. But just learning how to even like shut your mind off and just be completely silent. And once we learn how to really focus on guarding our inner dialogue, that will cancel out a lot of the doubt, telling ourselves things, comparing ourselves to people and telling ourselves things like, well, I can't keep supporting that person because, if I support that person, then they'll be better than me, or, they'll get more likes and comments than me on social media, or they'll get more business, than me, if it's if you're both business owners, particularly if you're in the same line of business. I don't want to, support that person because then they may do better than me, or, hoarding information because you're afraid that if you, mentor people or help people or give, any type of advice beyond the advice that people, pay you for a service, that, all of a sudden, you're going to lose clients, or somebody else is going to do better than you, or somebody won't buy from you because they feel like, well, I can just, get it for free. It's like all those things that are, going on in your mind, or, just any area of your life. It could be with, finances or relationships, or, careers, or anything. It's really those negative thoughts, that are crossing our minds. If you're applying for a job and, you're telling yourself, every time you apply for a job that you're not qualified, for the job, all those negative thoughts that are canceling out the possibility of you getting your job. Because your mind, believe it or not, is so powerful that you can even train your mind. And I know you've probably seen this in movies, to like move objects and things like that. Like it's not just in the movies. Like that's how powerful your mind is. I've read testimonials where people have learned how to either play instruments or better themselves on instruments by practicing mentally. I listened to one person talk about, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was, way before my time, but he was a famous sports person, and he would literally lie in a hammock and practice running, I think he was a track and field runner or something like that, and he would practice mentally while he was lying in a hammock. So that's how powerful your mind is. It's kind of like a placebo, where they have these study groups where one group, they might give like weight loss placebos, where they might give the one group the real weight loss pills, and another group they'll give like the placebo. You've heard of the placebo effect, and the placebo group actually loses more weight than the people that took the actual weight loss pills, because in their minds they believe that it really worked, whereas the people who were taking the real diet pills had a mental block. And so the pills probably aren't helping anyway, even the real ones, because I don't really believe in all that fake weight loss stuff. And even if it works, it's only going to work temporarily anyways. But my point is that the people who really believed that it was going to work, it worked for them. And so it was because the mind is so powerful. And so that's the place that we have to get to, is that we learn to have such control over our minds, is that we learn how to silence that inner dialogue. So not just silencing, what comes out of your mouth, but what's in your mind before it ever comes out of your mouth. Because if you can cast it down in your mind, then it's never going to come out of your mouth in the first place. So just real brief, that's a wrap actually. Just wanted to come on real brief to talk about the vocabulary of silence, and just really learning how to take control mentally first and foremost. And so once you learn how to take control mentally, like I said, then the external part takes place automatically, because if you don't have the thought, then it's not going to come out of your mouth. And if you don't have the thought also, then you're probably not going to take any kind of negative action as well. And so just learning how to cast it down in your mind takes care of everything else. So anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate you sharing it with your family, friends, and network. Please subscribe to the videos. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications as I release new videos. Thank you for watching. Make it a fantastic evening.